listening to Sex, Drugs, and Opera Radio. Introducing host number 1, Jared Ice, and host number 2, Michael Pegger. This is your podcast for November 16th, episode 20. What the fuck?
The whole time you were doing that, I was trying to think, like, which radio voice would balance that. Like, hey, guys, yeah. Like I guess, because there's always a type, right?
It definitely is. Well, this guy isn't the host. You're listening to radio. He's just doing the intros. To listen to that for a long time would be way too fucking much.
But with radio, there's always like the laugh man and there's like the straight man or whatever. There's like
You're
different
saying this
types.
could maybe be like a morning show.
Yeah, like what would the morning show version of us be? Because I just use my real voice, right?
I use my real voice too.
I know.
I think.
You know what I
the
mean?
weather tomorrow will be 25 degrees.
I think because if I went smooth, then you have to go silly. I think that would be what we would do.
I
right?
kind of think that's what we already do.
No, well, I mean, like unintentionally. But I would.
That's where Uncle Mike comes from.
But I would have to be like, "Hey guys, watch the traffic out there in the morning today. It's gonna be a cold one.
It's gonna be wacky."
Yeah, that's exactly it, man. That's exactly. If we had a morning show, that's the balance we would have to have. You
episode 20, people.
Okay, episode 20, November 16, 2019. How you fucking doing?
Mea fucking culpa, mea fucking culpa. We are late. We're as late as a girl after prom.
I was trying to think of the joke to make, Better late than never. So just like a period scare, here we are. Jesus fucking
Better late
Christ.
than never. Better late than never. We took a little, not hiatus, but, sometimes we got to take some time for ourselves.
It was not a vacation. It's just, I mean, I think we both don't want to talk too much about the personal shit that's going on. But, but we're busy as fuck right now, okay? That's all we can say.
Nobody cares about that.
No, nobody gives a fuck, man. They want the next fucking thing.
Which the next thing today
Yep.
is Elixir with Love. Elixir of Love, people.
How long you been sitting on that joke, man?
No, I didn't come up with it. A tenor colleague of mine from university, Dan Maimoni, one of the funniest people I fucking know.
Elixir with Love.
Elixir with Love. We're doing Donizetti's classic today.
That's one of those ones you could just slip in and no one would know, right?
Yeah, you could say it and people were like, I thought I heard. No,
Elixir?
There's no way he said that.
Elixir? We're doing Elixir of Love, which if you don't know is from Donizetti. We don't really have an order we go with these operas and composers. We've done a lot of romantic stuff, I guess. Mm-hmm. We did some Verdi operas. We went back to Tosca, Carmen, but this might be the earliest one we've done, I think.
Which is crazy.
1832, which is not that early. You know what I mean? I think this one premiered, 1832.
Yeah.
Could that be? Anyway.
28, right?
1832. It premiered in Milan in 1832.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember it had just 4 rehearsals. It was like, because back then, man, they were doing like musical theater.
He wrote it in 6 weeks.
He wrote it in 6 weeks, 4 rehearsals. Blah, blah, just fucking put that shit out there.
We got the lobster.
Yeah, it's when it's cold. It's winter again, and so
which means
our equipment.
Larry the Lobster is going to be back
Christ.
visiting with you guys.
Well, usually I don't know. We should warm it up first. But anyway, Elixir of Love.
Buy a new fucking piece of equipment.
Yeah, well,
fuck it.
We'll get to that. Donizetti. Okay, so Donizetti wrote Elixir of Love, premiered in Milan, 1832. This was after he wrote Anna Bolena, which was kind of like how he got his claim to fame. Elixir of Love. This was more or less the peak in his life, I think. This isn't a Donizetti podcast, but shortly after this, it's like his wife died prematurely, and then he went fucking crazy. He had a disease, he went crazy, ended up in a mental institution. Elixir of Love is kind of like, I would say, in the peaky part of his life. That's when shit was going well.
Peaky blinders.
Yeah. He was peaking hard, okay?
Poor goddamn composer. Again, we need to all be fucking happy that we live nowadays.
Yeah.
How many stories have we heard where, Bach, you know how many kids and wives that guy lost?
Well, it's like, and even the ones that so Don said he went crazy, but even the ones that made it to old age, like Verdi, how sad was that guy's fucking life? You know what I mean? It's like back then you kind of had the choice, like, well, you can be old and everything tragic will happen to everyone around you, or the tragic thing happens to you. But those are your two choices. Yeah. There is no you lived a full life and died happy surrounded by friends.
If you did, man.
We haven't found it yet.
We haven't.
Maybe we'll find it, but there must have been someone.
Somebody must
just
have.
Like, looking up at friends like, I'm ready to go.
Somebody must have looked up and said, yeah, this is the greatest time to be alive.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they said it back then because probably in Verdi's time, it was comparatively way better than Donizetti's time, before that.
They had no YouTube.
No, man, they had no YouTube. They were jacking off to, like, funny-shaped trees, man. I mean,
Hey.
if you didn't see somebody naked, you couldn't. That's how it was
They would
back
walk
then.
through the woods and say, look at that ash.
You stand from over here. You see that stump? All right, anyway.
Got me hot as an oak over here.
They're charging tickets to see it.
What the fuck? This is not where I expected that to go.
That was a rough start.
No, it's a great start. I'm sorry. I liked Look at That Ash.
Okay.
didn't hear it?
No, I didn't get it.
Said, look at that ash. You just thought I'd put on a weird accent real all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You gotta slap her ash.
There is a treasure trove of tree sexual innuendos there somewhere, but
Which nobody needs.
no, we don't need it though. There's a lot of words though. Sap, bark, you can probably do a lot with. Anyway, all right. So we're talking about Elixir today. Elixir d'amore, if you're fucking arrogant.
Elixir.
What did I say?
Elixir.
I went French with it. L'Elixir d'amore, right? The Elixir of Love, literally. Good translation on that one. So let's get into it, huh? You ready, Pegs?
Get into it.
So we got your main cast is Nemorino, which is, peasant, sad peasant, sad poor peasant.
Sad
Adina,
poor peasant.
love interest, soprano. Belcore, like buffo baritone shit. You got Dr. Dulcamara, which is selling the stuff. And then you got Janetta, which is kind of just friend filler.
They needed somebody to advance the plot. So enter Janetta. But we'll get into that. We'll get into it.
So as the opera begins, you got a group of farmhands doing their usual chorus shit. You know what I mean? Classic, like bel canto stuff.
Classic bel canto.
And Nemorino's watching from afar, and he loves her, but he's a poor fuck, and he's shy, and he's got nothing to fucking offer.
Sings his first aria there.
He's got nothing to offer but his love, and who wants that shit, right?
Yep.
And so Adina, the love interest, the woman he loves, starts reading the story of Tristan und Isolde, which, why the fuck not?
Everybody,
What?
I guess everybody knew about that back then. Everybody liked that story.
Which is weird, because you have to remember, this is before Wagner.
Of course.
Right? It's Donizetti, Verdi, Wagner. So, we have to put this in perspective.
No, I just mean that story predates by a long way.
Yeah, of course. But
and even in Italy, they're like, oh, man.
But sometimes when we watch these operas, it's like we look at Donizetti's Elixir of Love now, and it's like we didn't remember that Italy wasn't a fucking country. It was crazy. It was a bunch of random kingdoms and shit. You know what I mean? When we did the Verdi podcast, we talked about how we started to have the unification of Italy at that time. Also, Tristan and Isolde, we all hear that and we think, oh, Wagner. Wagner wasn't fucking around. You know what I mean? That piece wasn't around when this happened. So.
Right.
Yeah, it was just an old fucking story at that point.
That everybody loves.
And of course,
apparently.
And of course, the whole point of that story is Tristan won Isolde's affection with a love potion.
Right.
That's the whole fucking point, right? So it's like the whole,
Nemorino says, "Whoa,
it's the whole play within a play, right?
They've got that. They've got love potions.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So you gotta implement that. Bel canto has good story writing. You know what I mean? You get it later. Writing. Good story writing, right? Writing. You get into later operas in the Romantic period and shit, and it becomes more about music and fucking action. You know?
Yeah. This is.
There's always intrigue. You know what I mean? There's characters. People end up in situations where it's hilarious that those two characters are in the same room together.
Seriously, this story is actually quite good.
Yeah, it's the sitcom of operas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This bel canto stuff,
Just need a laugh track.
Yeah.
Just need a good laugh track.
That would be good.
That is good.
That's a good idea, man.
That is not bad.
They should someone out there do Elixir with a laugh track, you know?
That is really funny. And an applause sign over top so that you can tell people when to
you
do
get
applause.
This is good. We're giving ideas out for free here, people, so just fucking take them, right?
Somebody's got to do it. We don't have an opera company. If you have an opera company, I think that kind of audience participation
they would like
really
that.
funny.
Yeah, I would have to look at the recit and stuff, but there must be a way to fucking do it cleanly where it doesn't break up the show.
Well,
a character comes in, Nemorino comes in, and it's whoa! Like people used to do with Kramer.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Oh, she says some shitty shit to Nemorino,
you
and
could
everyone's
do it you could put in booze and stuff like that when Belcore comes in, right?
Well, you have an audio track of people doing it, but the audience is allowed to participate. So you have like boo, hiss, applause, awe.
Yeah.
You know? Ah. Like,
See, I like this.
But then you got to have the cheers like piano with the strings like ba-da-da-bum-ba. That's good shit.
Well, if you have somebody good at accompanying the recitative, right?
Yeah,
they
yeah.
Put that stuff in there anyway.
This is good shit.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. The audience participation is good. The recitative you can do. You can build in the pauses there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's easy to do. So if there's some place in a
And you-
recit that you want the laugh,
Yeah.
all you need to do is have them end it the right, like get to that spot in the right way.
Yeah.
Let it sit for a second, then let everybody laugh or applause or whatever.
It's hilarious. I did a gig recently. I did a Tosca in a TV studio, and they used the lights from the TV studio, and it looked like a fucking sitcom.
See?
Everything was like kind of small and cramped, and it looked like a sitcom, and it somehow worked, man.
Actually, I did a Barber of Seville, and it was meant to be one of those, what are they, like the Spanish novella, right? Like
Was that the one that you did with like you could see all the rooms of the house at the same time?
No, I've never done one like that.
Oh, maybe that was something else.
No, that was something else. But this one, like they had a camera on stage, like we were soap opera people, you know? And we would have different personalities, like when the camera was running and compared to when it was off and everything. It was cool.
I think there's a lot of funny stuff you can do there, like internal thoughts. You know what I mean?
Internal thoughts.
Man, you're missing nothing today. I can't fucking mispronounce anything.
Well, it's funny. Someone said the word turtle. Turtles are funny. The word
I'm saying
turtle's
Italian
funny.
words like the French. I'm just fucking it up. All right, look. Okay, so Nemorino's watching her. Adina, right, loves her. She's giving him no attention. She reads the story of Tristan and Isolde. We hear about the love potion. Boom, that's where we are.
She's kind of like knowingly not giving him attention, though.
Yeah,
There are
she
a
gets
couple
off
things-
on it.
There are a couple things that are put forward in here in this story that are true as true can be. Let's keep going.
So then we got Belcore. Belcore pops in with his soldiers, right? And so he's a sergeant, and he's, of course, flirting with all the girls, and he sees Adina, and, of course, he's like,
That's
fucking
the
love
one.
you. I want to fucking marry you, right? As you did back then. You know, the first time you see somebody, let's get married.
Yeah, why not?
Why the fuck not? She's, of course, flattered, but refuses the offer, and everyone kind of get back to work. And it's in this moment that Nemorino finds the courage to kind of tell us, like, I love you. Right? And she laughs at him and she says, like, I think she said it in a very Italian, high, like, noble way, but basically, like, I'm too
wait a
impulsive to settle down with just one suitor,
Yeah,
you know?
whoa. You skipped.
Skip what?
You skipped Dulcamara. Didn't
No.
he come in first?
No. Because he has to get rejected first. He gets rejected first. She says the whole, like, no, I'm not happy with just one suitor. When you do this, Mike,
I need
it
all
stresses
kinds
me
of
out.
dudes.
Yeah. I need.
saying.
I'm sick and dick's the medicine. No, I mean it's more innocent than that. You know, like you know, I don't know.
Sick and I need a pill.
Okay, so Dr. Dulcamara, then he arrives with his medicine, right? And he's one of these like traveling doctors. And Nemorino asks him, like, do you know about the Elixir of Love that Tristan won Isolde with? And he's like, do I fucking know it?
He's like, I got that.
I fucking made it. That's what he says, right? He's like, know it. I fucking made that shit, right? I created it. I got it right fucking here.
Nice.
And so he gives him a bottle of wine, which, of course, Nemorino doesn't know. And he says, like, but it takes 24 hours to work. Because his whole scam is he sells you shit, and then he fucking cuts town. Then he bounces, like, hard out of town. So, of course, he drinks it all at once, not realizing that's cheap wine, which is one of those moments where you have to suspend your belief. Or
Why?
disbelief. Because this Italian doesn't know what red wine tastes like.
Yeah, but it's cheap red wine, and maybe even
Yeah, he's
bad.
poor. He's only drinking cheap red wine. He's never had good wine.
Very, very good.
It would make more sense if it was good wine. It'd probably be funnier, you know? But
I
then you
guess
can't sell good wine for money.
That's true. That's not bad. That's not bad thinking. What I was gonna say is, I love this opera because it shows straight up the placebo effect.
Yeah.
It shows if you think it's gonna work, it might actually work. That placebo might kick in.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that's nice about this opera is that there is no love potion. All feelings, all interactions that happen are actually genuine in the end. You know what I mean? And so that makes it a happy ending. Well, we're not there yet. Okay, so it's cheap wine. And, of course, like opera, you're just drunk right away.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking drunk right away. And certain that he's going to, like, win her love now because he's got this love potion, he starts to treat her more like I guess indifferently, you can say.
He gives
I don't give a
her-
shit. Yeah.
He gives her the shoulder.
He gives her the shoulder. Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the other truth that comes out in this thing. Like when I was reading about it, they were talking about the eternal truths
Okay.
that this show represented. And I thought to myself, the one eternal truth that you guys are not even fucking talking about because it's not artsy-fartsy enough to write in this journal is you walk away from somebody, they're more interested. Period.
Yeah.
It's not even with humans.
No, it's not a relationship thing. It's not a man-woman thing. It's like a job interview and anything. As soon as you say "fuck it," I don't need work. Watch how many job offers you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Jared, can you do it? Nah, man, I don't want to. Why? I don't feel like it. Well, we got another thing you could do that's better.
Look,
I guess I'll do that.
We are not advocating for you guys to just start turning down all your job offers. By the way,
Yeah, just send a
That's not the
resume
point.
with a picture of your middle finger and your hands on your
photocopy. Hey, that's what I fucking think.
Yeah.
That's what I sang recently. Yeah, bastards. No. But even I think I might have mentioned this at one point, like last season, at the beginning of last season.
Okay.
We always had puppies, and
what?
Listen, we in my family we always had puppies, right?
You got in my family. Okay, yeah.
All right, calm down.
I think like you and I.
If there's a puppy, right,
Yeah.
at the beginning when you're training them, you'll say, "Hey, come here," and they'll do nothing. They'll sit there.
Yeah.
And my father said, "Turn around, walk away, don't look." Right?
Yeah.
Turn around. Hi, lobster. Turn around. Look away.
Yeah.
And just start walking. And that dog comes blitzschnell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Lightning fast.
Yeah.
And that is what Adina is doing to him, and that's what now fucking Nemorino's doing to Adina. He
Yeah,
turns around, walks away.
Hey, and in today's world of social media and like everyone forming relationships online, it's also good because stop writing someone, see if they write you back, and if they don't, then it's a waste of your time. Okay.
Yep.
Come on, don't be the one initiating contact all the time, right?
Yeah, that being said, someone's got to initiate some fucking contact.
Yeah, true. Otherwise, we're all gonna
The
just
thing about
start
it is that
fucking
guys
robots.
oftentimes play this thing, right? Or no, I'm sorry. Girls oftentimes say this. No, I won't write him.
Yeah.
No, I won't write him.
Yeah.
But if the guy starts employing that same thing, then nobody's getting together. And we want,
Except
here
the one-
at Sex, Drugs, and Opera,
yeah.
we want as many people to get laid as possible.
Yeah.
We want this for all of you.
We want you all to fuck each other. So
That's right.
didn't we have a guy once that made a playlist and he said if only had someone had sex too?
yeah. He made his.
I can't remember what that guy's name was, but write us in and let us
classical
know if you boned to the playlist since then. You know?
Yeah, come on, people.
Give everybody an update.
Playlist and bone to it.
All right. So anyway,
Bone.
so he's treating her indifferently because he's drunk from the wine. Jesus.
Go ahead. I'm not saying anything.
All right, I was waiting for it. So to get even with him, Adina begins to flirt with Belcore, right? Which is how that move plays out sometimes. So you got to be careful.
It's risky.
Whoever wrote this, the guy who wrote the libretto Romani, he wasn't the original, but like the story has been around for a while. But it's whoever wrote the original libretto. It's like they know how this shit works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they know how this works. So okay, so then she starts flirting, of course, with Belcore. Right, to get back at Nemorino, right? And so then...
You still with us, Jared?
I'm trying to remember what happens next here. Okay, so she's flirting with...
They do the marriage contract now, don't they? They say, in 6 days, I'll marry you.
Right. So they talk about getting married, but then the whole thing is like, for some reason, Belcore...
He has
orders. That's
off.
right. He has orders to ship off. That's right. That's what happened. So they because he asked her to marry him. She says like, "Nah, dog, nah." And then Nemorino comes in, ignoring her.
Direct translation from
the
Italian.
And so then she's like, "Yeah, let's fucking marry." So they make plans to do it in a long time. Belcore gets called away to like go back to battle or some shit. Right. And so they're like, "Well, then let's fucking do it tonight."
Right.
Which is, again, in today's standards, you couldn't write a story like that, right? It makes no sense. But you watch it back then, you're like, yeah, of course they're strangers. They decide to get married, 10 hours from now.
An opera can only be so long. You got to pick up the pace.
Yeah, but couldn't you do like sun up, sundown? It's like 4 days later,
Sunrise, sunset.
And so, okay, so then that's how the Act 1 ends, right? Everyone's like, oh, they're going to get married, right? And so then Act 2 comes up with the wedding party and the pre-wedding stuff, and Adina's kind of pissed because Nemorino hasn't shown up to the pre-party shit, right? And the whole fucking point of this is to piss that guy off, right?
She wants to get him.
And it's not that she has, at this point, I don't think she has feelings for him. It's just like she likes pissing that guy off.
Definitely.
More or less, right? That's kind of what gets her off.
That's basically it.
And so Nemorino enters and he goes up to the doctor and he's like, man, I need some more of that potion. I need a stronger fucking effect. This isn't working. So he gives him another bottle of wine, right? And I can't remember how much he's charging for the shit, but Nemorino can't pay because I think the first bottle cost him all his savings.
Right. First he, I think, turns him down because he doesn't have any money.
The first bottle Nemorino bought, he did all his savings for it. Then for the second one, he can't pay. And that's when Belcore emerges.
That's what I'm saying.
Because Adina... Because Nemorino's not there, the notary shows up, to get them married, and she's like, nah, dog, nah, right?
Nah, man.
Nah, brah. We gotta postpone this shit.
Come at me, brah.
So she says, like, give me some time. So Belcora comes in like, why the fuck won't she marry me? And then he spots Nemorino. Nemorino's bummed. And he's like, what's up?
And Nemorino go over to him because he's dick swinging now. He's got. He's winning this game.
Belcore, you mean?
Yeah, so it doesn't hurt him to
So he goes up, he's like,
with this guy.
Well, also he just wants to see what's going on. So Nemorino says he needs the cash, and that's when Belcore says, hey, join the army, man. You'll get like a signing bonus right now. You can buy that wine. And so it's like a win-win for him because it's like Nemorino. Well, it's a win-win because Nemorino's going to get the wine, but Belcore also is like, you got rid of this guy because he's going to have to ship out with the army. You know what I mean? And so then that was happening. So he signs to join the army. He gets the fucking wine. Chaka, chaka, chaka. The plot progresses, right? So then we got this whole like filler scene with the village girls hanging out and Janetta, which is like
it's
Adina's friend.
It's a filler scene, but that's what I meant. So they bring Janetta in to just advance the plot, and this is where they find out
what you got in sitcoms, yeah.
Right, exactly. You got somebody in, you got to get a lot of information out real quickly. You need a Janetta for it. Dafür is what I wanted to say. Goddamn.
But that's what that guy in
SDAO left and right.
That's what that guy in Inception was. Not Leonardo DiCaprio, but the second guy. What was that guy's name? The Jason Lovett, whatever.
I don't know.
Whatever. His job was just like Leonardo DiCaprio would drop some vocab, and like some other dude would be like, "What is that?" And he'd be like, "That's when in like subconscious everything is like." Then he's just explaining the plot to you, the fucking listener, and that's what Janetta's doing. So what does she say?
Janetta comes out and they're talking about the whole sitch, and then it comes out that Nemorino's uncle died.
Yeah.
And left Nemorino a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
And nobody knows about that yet. Adina doesn't know about it, and Nemorino doesn't know about it.
Yeah, and they set the stuff up earlier. Like in the first scene, there's some scene where she's like, "Shouldn't you be taking care of your sick uncle?" And he's like, "Yeah." It's like it's just so they can do a callback later. You know?
That's right.
You have that in sitcoms all the time too. They're like, "I can't get this jar open." And you're like, "Why did they show that?" The joke's coming back.
This is interesting though, because when he comes back out and he's all sloshed up, right?
Yeah.
He's all sloshed on the meds. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The girls all of a sudden are like, "Ooh, this guy's a rich landowner. Let's get over there."
Yeah, so Nemorino comes in and he drank the other bottle of wine, so he's hammered, which is also classic opera plot. You have someone getting progressively more drunk. That's always funny.
Right.
That's like why the end of Fledermaus is fucking funny, right? Is that Fledermaus I'm thinking of? There's the drunk scene with the jail at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fledermaus. Yeah, you always get someone drunk.
But no. What I mean is that they're interested in him because of all this.
Of course, they're interested because of the money. Adina doesn't know about the money. He walks in. He thinks the potion's working,
and she thinks, "Oh man, this guy's."
Maybe I've been underestimating this guy.
Right, because look at all the attention he's getting now. It's a nice little coming together. It's like kind of Seinfeld-y.
Oh yeah.
And how the plots come together.
So she gets jealous. Adina sees him with the women, and she actually talks to Dr. Dulcamara at one point and is like, "What's going on here?" Right? And for some reason, Dulcamara doesn't know that she's the one that Nemorino is like in love with, and he's like, "Oh man, he spent all his money on this love elixir, and he joined the army to get more." Because he wanted it for some unnamed beauty, like he says, like some chick he's in love with or something like that. So she kind of realizes then that he has sincere feelings for her or something like that. I guess that's why that's relevant to the plot of the story, and so she recognizes his sincerity in that moment, and she
stop hitting your fucking hand on the table.
Oh, you want to talk? Twiddle McTwids over there. So so she forgets her behavior and realizes she's loved him all along in this moment.
Of course.
And so Dulcamara tries to sell her some shit, and she's like,
bruh.
She's like, nah, dog, I don't need shit. And she's like, I'm confident in my own powers of like fucking attraction and stuff like that, right?
Good
so
for her.
Nemorino pops out alone. There it is, right? That's the aria.
Yep.
That's the aria. And so he's reflecting on like a tear he saw in her eye, and he's like,
he's saying, "That's it. I saw
the tear." And when he was ignoring her earlier, and he's like, "That." Then she loves him. She loves me, right? And so after he sings this shit, then Adina enters in, and she's like, "So why are you joining the army?" And he's like, I want a better life and shit like that. And she's like, oh, but you're loved here. And she also has some fucking money, by the way, right? This girl,
yeah, she's
a landowner, and so she purchases his military contract back from Belcore,
right?
Which also is something they kind of sweep under the rug. Like, why the fuck would Belcore do that?
Why would he do what? Give it up?
Yeah, why would he give up Nemerino's contract?
Does he purchase it? Does she purchase it from Belcore? Is that what it says? I'm sorry. Maybe somebody who knows can write us.
I mean, like indirectly in some way. I mean, I guess maybe he's not the one.
It from the military.
I guess
maybe
that's true. Yeah, that's true. He could not have the power to stop that. I guess maybe. Yeah. So she offers the contract to Nemerino, and she says, "If you stay, you'll be happy." Right? Doesn't confess her love, but it's like you'll be happy. He takes the contract. She turns to go, like the puppy thing, exactly the puppy thing. And he's like, he thinks he's being abandoned. He like flips out. That if I'm not loved, then I might as well go die as a fucking soldier.
Was she meaning to do the puppy thing then?
No, I don't think so.
I think she was just being like,
I think it's just like time to go,
Yeah.
And
sometimes it's not puppy. Sometimes it's like.
Sometimes it's like, look, I gotta take a shit. Like
right.
you.
Shit's getting kind of urgent here.
I hate that. Where are you going?
And then she stops. He stops her.
Yeah.
She's just like doing a little. I gotta take a shit dance during the stage. See, why can't that be in an incident? Why can't or in a direction in a play?
Why did she? What staging?
Staging. Why can't that be in a staging? She has to take a shit. And then during the rest of the scene, she's just kind of bouncing around.
What, doing the scared turtle? I don't know, man. So anyway, so she's moved by his fucking fidelity at this point. She's like, I fucking love you, dog. And so
why did we make this a relationship between Kyle and Chad?
I don't know.
I
love you, bro. And so then she begs him to forgive her, which he does.
Memes, by the way, those memes, the bro, this is how much I love you, bro.
Like, close your eyes, bro. Like
that's what it's like when you're not here and he says bro. Those are some of the funniest.
What do you see? Nothing, bro. That's my world without you.
That's some of the funniest shit.
That is good. That is good shit. Okay, so anyway, so then it gets wrapped up, right? They kiss, and then.
By the way, sorry.
Yeah.
People named Kyle and people named Chad have gotten really the shit end of the stick nowadays.
Well, Karen's too.
Every time some bitch loses their top over getting the wrong amount of cream in their coffee, and somebody photographs it.
They're like, there's always Karen, it's like that's just the name
Karen.
for that.
Poor Karen.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. They just thought of fucking middle class, live in a cul-de-sac person who needs to fucking complain about something that does not need to be complained about. But I'm just saying. I know lots of Karens.
Yeah, sure.
There are great Karens out there.
There's also
not
some
all of
shitty
them.
Karens.
There are also some shitty Karens, but there are definitely shitty Mikes and Jareds.
Yeah.
100%.
I would argue that very few people have met a shitty Jared.
Oh, come on.
Name me.
Write us in your stories about
write it
shitty
Jared.
that you met.
I don't want to do that because people are going to start writing stories about me. I'm trying to keep all my...
Please, write your story about how much of a shithead Jared was to you.
That's fine. We'll make it a segment.
Okay.
We'll make it a segment.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, so they kiss, and then everything wraps, right? Belcore returns, sees Nemerino, and them hugging. She explained that she loves Nemerino, and so Belcore is like, there's plenty of other fish in the sea, right? Classic Belcanto ending. Like,
yeah, he's like,
I loved you, but I guess it didn't work out.
I don't need you.
This whole shit. So then at this point, they learn about the inheritance from the uncle. So, of course, it's important that came after they loved each other genuinely, and then the money comes into play. So the happy ever after shit. Dulcamata comes in, and everyone's like, oh, give us money for the fucking elixir. And then it's fucking over, right?
Fucking over.
Happy ending. Everyone's fucking happy, right? And you leave that theater chuckling like a bitch.
You, dude?
I don't know, dude.
What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
Why can't you say words today?
I don't know. It's lobster squeaking. I didn't sleep a lot last night. It's fucking crazy, It's fucking crazy. So anyway, that's it. Donizetti, classic bel canto, ha story, light orchestration, lots of voice showing off. What do you want to say?
I don't know. Great opera. If you guys don't know it, you got to go listen to it. That's one of the best. Has one of the most beloved tenor arias in it.
Yeah, sure.
Although there's we should talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Are we doing text talk today?
Yeah, we are.
Do you want to get into that, or do you want to announce some sponsors first?
Well, I got a few things to say about the opera first.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck me then.
Did you know that this whole joining the army, getting the contracts purchase thing happened to Donizetti?
Yeah, I did know that.
Did you know that? And you just want to say it? You thought it wasn't interesting for the podcast?
No, I forgot about it. Calm down. Jesus. So what? That's not interesting enough? Huh?
Yeah, Donizetti was like an up-and-coming composer, and there was this rich woman that he had written some songs that he had not what's the word in tribute to her or whatever. He wrote them for her or whatever. He said for her, and so she believed in his talent. And so when he got called to the military, that might have been tough for his career. So she bought up the contract. Right?
Yeah, that's probably something like that.
Sorry, I just
Probably
keep hitting the
like
table
that.
today, and Mike's getting just a fucking sampling, just a taste of what it's like to sit across from him, twitching, hitting the microphone, coloring on the curtains all the goddamn time.
But mine don't make sound. Nobody knows that I'm doing any of those things. Yours makes sound, dude.
I guess.
Yours makes sound.
All right.
Subway,
So here you go. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sponsors today, Mike. For you.
Judas jumped up. We got Alexa Moore sponsoring Sex, Drugs, and Opera, along with Miko Cortez.
Better pick it up.
Joining them is Jesse Warren, and Maya Karani, and Jonathan Patton. You last three, he got me all nervous that I wasn't gonna get done in time.
Yeah,
I had pacing, I had tempo, I could have done it.
You had it. All right,
We got
everybody.
5 new sponsors, peeps.
Yeah, 5 new sponsors. Oh, we gotta let the song in here. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh,
Big ending.
dude, you ruined that, dude. I had the exact right pacing.
Maybe.
I knew I did.
Yeah, I just told you to keep an eye on it, man. You panicked. You panicked,
You're
okay?
right, I panicked.
All right. Alexa Moore, Miko Cortez, Jesse Warren, Maya Kirani, Jonathan Patton, you 5. Thank you so much for joining our sponsors. I've sent you passwords to our secret sponsor section. Mike and I dropped a new podcast in there 2 days ago or so, 2-3 days ago, so check that out. And to anybody else, yeah, if you're interested in sponsoring us, you directly affect the longevity of the podcast, the quality of the podcast. You can join through Patreon on our website. If you don't want to do the monthly sponsor thing, you can also buy us a coffee.
Yep.
And this lobster, If you guys...
I like how there were people, by the way, getting on our shit about not releasing on time.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice because it means people are noticing,
They notice it. They like the podcast. I like it. And then there are people who like the podcast enough to give us money, which is still a mystery to me. Thank you. I mean, you guys are you're my own personal Jesus. My own personal Jesus. You don't know that song?
Is that not Depeche Mode?
Yes.
You fucking idiot.
But I only know the Johnny Cash version. For you long-term listeners, Jared had a fucking coronary whenever I said I didn't know who Depeche Mode was. And not only that, but I kind of said, nobody knows who Depeche Mode is. And he got on me about
backpedaling
it.
son of a bitch. All right, so, okay, so just to wrap up the sponsor thing, Mike and I said it on the sponsor podcast last time, but I'll say it on this one, the podcast has really gotten to a point where we can't do this without sponsors. We can't do this without sponsors.
Absolutely not.
And when we have more help from sponsors, it makes Mike and it just frees us up piece by piece to be able to focus more on the podcast, producing more content, producing better content. So thank you to our sponsors, and please consider sponsoring us if you haven't. All
Yep.
right. Anyway, you want to do some text talk, or you got something else to say?
Text talk.
Okay, you're going to go first, right?
Sure, I'll go first. The high ones,
Yeah.
is that also, did you modulate your voice or something?
Yeah.
Or did you just go
No, I just did it text talk, and then I just pitched it up.
But you can't pitch it up on your own? fucking Larry Lobsters.
Look, if you guys give us some money, the lobster will go away. I promise. We'll buy better shit. Yeah, I could do it on my own, but it would have a different sound. Then it would sound like I'm straining, and I wanted.
Let me hear you strain on a text talk.
What? Text talk.
It's creepy as shit, dude.
I told you.
Salad fingers.
Text talk. Text talk has you could really get a lot of colors out of that.
Absolutely, you could.
Sometimes when my wife and I are bored, we do a little text talk. So what are you doing?
Also,
Are you trying to play music from your phone into the mic? That never works, man.
I know.
Plug in if you're going to do it.
Jesus Christ. Just checking sure and making sure I have it on the right spot.
All right. So if you haven't heard, we haven't done text talk in I don't know how long. I think last season. And the last couple times we've done it, if we've ever done it more than once, I think we did it 2 or 3 times. It's usually about pop music and mainstream stuff. But this time we, of course, are focusing on lyrics from the opera. I believe so, right? Mike, yours is from the opera?
From the opera.
Did you do Una Furtiva? Okay, so Mike did the big tenor aria, and I did some text from the baritone aria.
Which? Come pari
Yeah, I did that one. Are you gonna plug in? What's going on here?
Wait, you gotta plug it in over yonder way.
You gotta get closer here. Mike, work with me, not against me. Here.
I'm trying. I'm trying real friggin' hard.
All right, so Mike's gonna explain what you're doing here.
Yeah, first off, we're going to listen to. Normally, we play old recordings because it doesn't fuck us up on YouTube.
Right.
But this one's an old one. It might bring us some problems on YouTube, but you know what? I don't give a.
All right. So what are you playing?
This is Ferruccio Tagliavini. Has the most interesting recording I've ever heard of it. Now, you and I have talked about before. I might have even mentioned this recording before because I just repeat. I'm on a record here. I just get caught in the thing and I fucking repeat myself. We talked about before how people are sometimes too scared to use different colors in their singing. And this guy uses some fucking colors. Let's listen to it first, and then we'll talk about some lyrics in it.
How much are you going to listen to?
It's playing now.
Okay. Hold on.
I don't hear shit, dude.
Well, let's see what we got here. Oh, that's right. You got to find the perfect angle here. This is why we got to sound check this shit.
You want to start it over? Well, you can hear the color he's using. You don't expect. When's the last time you heard an opera singer get up on stage and pull back that much?
1920.
Wait for it. He fucking opened up, and it's just so much more effective.
Yeah.
By the way, this is it got me thinking about every time I've been with a coach,
Yeah.
and they say, "Oh yeah, that's not Donizetti. That's the way you're doing that is not Donizetti." And I'm thinking, you don't know what Donizetti was, like, and you listen to old recordings all the time, and they do shit way differently.
Yeah.
Where if you were to sing it that way today, they'd say that's not Donizetti, that's not Puccini, that's not Verdi.
people who like are alive at a time where they coached with the person who worked on the production of the opera.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
even that, the styles that they sang with back then were so drastically different. Why can't we just have the? Why can't we have the freedom to make wild choices like that? There was a tenor named Josef Schmidt.
Yeah.
He was called the pocket tenor.
Right. Yeah. I think you mentioned that.
I mentioned him before, and him singing this aria.
Yeah.
There's a very typical cadenza that they sing at the end of this aria, and his was crazy different. It was so bel canto, so personalized for him.
Yeah.
Which that's the point. Like that's what you had,
bel
like
canto
signature.
Means. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
you had signature coloratura. You had
that's
signature
the vocal
shit
athletics.
that you would do.
That's showing your shit. Yeah.
And nobody does that today.
No, you do the standard shit.
You do the standard shit, which is a shame. It should really be if you want to say, all right, well that's not Donizetti. Anytime you hear the same thing twice, you should say, well, that's not Donizetti.
That's true.
You got to do it your fucking self.
Jazz went the same direction. You know what I mean? Like it used to be like Miles Davis and this stuff. It's like you just had your sound, you had your solos. You know what I mean? But now when I was studying jazz in university, it's like you had your book of riffs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fucking crap,
and it's like
dude.
you'd kind of string these together of like acceptable things to do. You know what I mean?
It's just homogenizing everything.
Yeah.
I brought this one up specifically because I thought I think he's amazing in the The difference between the first part of it and where he opens up.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think is amazing about this song is this is a happy song.
Yeah.
No one treats this like a happy song. I mean, the real artists do. They recognize what sort of ecstasy it is that he recognizes that he saw this tear and that's what it means.
Right.
But especially people just learning it for the first time, you have to fucking remember that this is a happy song. That this guy is overtaken with the shit. You know? What are you thinking? I was
just thinking of the melody because it's really like written in this like each phrase ends down. You know what I mean? Which isn't necessarily sad. Sometimes that's like that can mirror like sighing. You know, like like kind of that thing. You know what I mean?
You're going from a completely composer perspective, and I love it. I love hearing that shit.
I was just thinking about it because then the part where he opens up, then you get more of this like rising stuff. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot there. There's a lot to dig into besides just doing like the standard. You got any thoughts on the text of that song?
I just love. I don't know why I love the word palpiti. I palpiti.
Yeah.
So much, but when he says I palpiti sentir confondere miei cos voi sospir.
Is that like palpitate, like my heart palpitates?
Yeah.
Different than beats.
1 second. 1 second, I'm looking for it. The beginning of it is un solo istante te palpiti, and it says her heart beats to hear my sighs with hers to merge.
Oh, he says sighs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sospir.
Of course,
right.
of course. Oh, okay, so it's like really obviously then.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
he's sighing. It's the sigh of ecstasy.
Yeah. Of
Not
like
the
relief.
sigh of
all that. Yeah. Like you finally got it. Yeah.
People don't sigh in. Is it just me, or do we not associate sighs with ecstasy so much anymore? Sighs are sort of resignation.
Sighs are a release of tension, and you could have tension, and you could release your tension because it's happy, or you could release the tension because you're letting the sadness out.
Right, but artistically back then, this sigh that they
like you mean literally
linguistically
when they say sospiri, when they say sighing.
Yeah, at least in English.
Yeah, because when you look at like libretti and stuff, crying's often called crying. You know what I mean? Like you people let out a cry or like a wail, but sighs are often like in romantic songs, aren't they?
Well, yeah, or not even. I mean, just in vernacular use, just in our vernacular.
Yeah.
When you say sigh,
okay, yeah,
a
sigh of
more
relief.
More often than not, is either a sigh of relief, or a sigh of like if you're texting with somebody and they say sigh, it's more resignation than if they text sigh. I've seen that happen before. Okay. It's more resignation than it is anything, but a sigh, like you said, can mean all different kinds
there's
of
so many different ones. You know what I mean?
Fucking eingeschränkt. Constrained now. The meaning of it seems to be a bit more constrained than it used to be.
Yeah.
And that's a shame.
True. Well, it's funny because
I want to sigh about everything. I want to get done during sex and just go...
But there's so many sighs out there. But like you're talking about the word sigh, but of course we hear all the other sighs still in life.
Yeah, I guess. But
you know what I mean? Like people like something sad happens, they're like, and like something sad. Lobster. Like if something good happens, they're like, oh, I'm so glad she's okay.
Yeah.
You know, like they let out this sigh of relief.
But this is
you're annoyed and you're like
ecstasy.
Like, yeah. So there's many sighs. There's many ways to sighs. But the point is, whatever your interpretation of that aria is, you should feel free to be able to do it when you sing it. Mm-hmm. Whatever your sigh is, okay? Whatever kind of sigh guy you are. Whatever sigh you want to let fly. Than just because you saw that tear in her eye.
I love the idea of dying of love, which he does at the. I'm so fucking happy I could die.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Those are real feelings.
Those are intense.
Yeah.
Intense feelings.
Yeah. Google Pavarotti. We did this on the Power Hour. We put Pavarotti sing that aria.
Yep.
Dude doesn't blink for over a minute.
It's insane.
Over a minute. And Pavarotti, I don't know if you know this, watch his Agnus Dei from Bizet, where he sings for the Pope, also doesn't blink. But also, if you watch a lot of Pavarotti shit, the guy, whenever he's at the climax of a song, Che Gelida Manina or whatever, dude doesn't blink.
How can that be, dude?
I think it's a focus thing. I think he found the zone. You know what I mean? Because I never saw that guy like looking around. Like he just got in the zone, and then it's just like everything fucking disappeared.
Yeah, but
you know,
it's an involuntary reflex. How the fuck are you stopping that? It's like his heart didn't beat for a minute and a half.
Because it's the most important thing in the world in that moment, I think. Because if you were terrified, like if a tiger came in this room, you might stop blinking for a while. You know
Maybe.
what I mean? Like,
all right.
It's just, whatever.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's cool, man. The dude's got wet eyes. And those women got them wet thighs. You know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when Pavarotti doesn't blink, I get it.
Then the room starts to sting. Okay. I'm sorry.
The fact that we feel okay to say this on the air, to say shit like that.
I don't see what's wrong with that, okay?
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Most people aren't saying when Pavarotti doesn't blink, the room starts to stink on the air. If we were still selling T-shirts, then that would be a shirt. That would definitely be
Mike,
a shirt.
This shit you're doing right here.
Why can't you just live and let live?
Auf damit.
Why can't you live and let live? I just found something cool that I can do with the
We need to get you like
a
a cat tower that you can like bat at shit.
You don't think that would distract you more?
No, it's not about distracting. It's because I don't want you to pull these wires out and fuck out the recording.
You're taking us way off path.
All right.
Give us some. All
right. So my thing was Belcore's aria. So Belcore pops in and he sings to Adina, about how rad he is and how she should fucking like marry him and shit. And the thing is Belcore, I like his character a lot because it has depth and the best character writing. Because Mike and I talked about this the other day privately, but it's really hard to write something in a voice that reaches everybody. You know what I mean? Because usually your shit's superficial and you're going to reach superficial people, or your stuff's intellectual and deep and you're going to reach intellectual people. But Belcore's character of being this pompous fucking guy reads to everybody, and there's depth in it, right?
What's the depth?
So his aria he sings is Come paride vezzoso, right? And it means like he says paride, like Paris, right? Of course it's not the city. Of course that's Greek mythology, right? Paris was this Trojan prince who was the most beautiful man in the entire world, right? Mm-hmm. And the first lines of his aria that Belcore sings, he says, just like charming Paris, right, gave the apple to the most beautiful woman, I'm giving these flowers to you. And that goes by and people are like, what? It just goes by.
Right.
But Paris, of course, was a Trojan prince, and his claim to fame was something called the Judgment of Paris, where in Greek mythology, some goddess threw a golden apple into a party of gods, and on the apple it said, like, for the most beautiful person or beautiful goddess. I can't remember what. And 3 goddesses laid claim to this apple, right? Because they both thought they were the most beautiful, whatever.
I don't know if I've ever said laid claim to anything in my life. But
no.
I appreciate when you do. They laid claim.
Did I do it correctly? Is that wrong?
No, I think that's right.
Because if you live in Europe for as long as Mike and I have, your English gets fucking weird, as you already know, right? I'm glad people stopped writing about my accent, though.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, so then he had Hera was one of the goddesses that laid claim to the apple, and she offered him royal powers. Athena, the goddess of hunting and war, offered him like future military victories. And would you say Aphrodite? Is that how you say that goddess? Aphrodite. I got an appetite. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, of course, offered him the love of Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world, right? And so Paris chose Aphrodite, and then afterwards she was like, well, Helen's kind of married, right? So then...
oh, yeah.
Greek mythology is always like that. You know what I mean? It's like fucking Jerry Springer as shit. So then she caused Helen to fall in love and run away with Paris. And so then that started like some Trojan War or some shit like that, right? So... If you're listening to the song from Belcore and that lyric goes by, you know Greek mythology, you're like, like I fucking get that. Paris and the apple, the Judgment of Paris. I remember that shit. But also in the same aria, Belcore goes on to talk about like, I can see in your face that you are like, I've begun to conquer your heart. It's not surprising. I'm fucking like gallant. I'm strong. I'm noble. So he says this obvious shit that causes the character to come across, right? But then in the same aria, he like drops another like nugget where he's like, no woman can fucking resist me in the sight of me in my helmet. Even the mother of love gave into Mars. Right, boom, it just goes by and you're like, what? And of course, that is then another Greek mythology thing where he's talking about Aphrodite, right? Mm-hmm. Aphrodite, the goddess of love. She was shacking up with Ares, the god of war, and they had a kid, Cupid, right? And so he said the mother of love, Aphrodite, hooked up with the Ares, which is, I can't remember, the Greek name is Ares and the Roman name is Mars. It's the same fucking person, right? The god of war.
Man,
right?
you are way outdoing me today in this text talk. I just talked about how I like this
two different
sound.
Yeah, but it's two different shades.
Of it.
But both are important. Like vowels and the way words sound are important.
And
but
how
I'm
they
talking.
feel, but still, you're giving. This should be SDAO University.
Well,
right
I'm
now.
just talking about. So for
Professor Ice.
for me, it's more about the character writing, because it's like the Donizetti really uses also these melismas, this melismatic stuff, which for a lot of opera fans that maybe don't know terms, that's when you have this this type of stuff, right?
You have more than one tone on the same syllable.
Yeah. And so Donizetti in this aria does a great job of using it on the right words to show his pomposity.
Okay.
Is that a noun?
Sure.
I think that's a noun. Pomposity. How pompous he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like this type of shit where it's all this stuff. And it's meant to be pompous. It's meant to be over the top. So the point is it's a character. It's an aria that speaks superficially. Like if you're dumb, you'll still get who the character is.
Yeah.
But also as intellectual as you want to get with it in the break, you want to be like, oh, I loved that he did the Greek mythology. I mean, how arrogant would you be to call yourself Paris? You know.
Really?
So it's really, but to have a voice that speaks to that wide a range of people is really difficult to do as librettist. So
I think,
congrats.
I really do feel really shitty about how much you outdid me in this one.
Mike,
Because
we're a team. We're a
I
team.
know. I'm just
you
saying,
played some music and it was beautiful.
I'm
you know.
just saying you came and I learned shit today, and you said what's your favorite thing about the text? I like the way it sounds.
No, man. I mean, sign.
I like the way Palpatine. Confondere me so I like the way
But
it
Mike,
sounds.
I thought it was intellectually stimulating to think about how varied the word sigh can be and how there should be more words for that.
Yeah,
sigh is ambiguous.
That was just something I didn't prepare.
All right, man.
This is.
We're a team, Mike. We're a team. My
No,
successes are your successes.
Normally,
okay?
I'm the one to have like the fucking Greek mythology, and now I feel a little bad that I slacked off on that one. 'Cause
Mike,
that was good.
All right,
that was good,
Mike.
dude.
This is the Eiffel Tower. Okay, we team up. Wobbly H. Okay, it's not. There's no.
We're not explaining what that is. Whatever, guys.
Yeah.
If you know it, you know it. You don't.
If you get
don't.
the joke, you get.
That's
If you
like,
don't,
that's like the people who don't get the Greek reference.
Yeah,
if you
that's
know what a
depth.
wobbly H is, then you are understanding Greek today.
Okay, we're going on to Hollywood. All right.
Jesus.
Your fucking face for that too.
That's the only face I can make when doing that.
That was almost hair glow. Just
It's
soul
not
glow.
even close.
I
He wants me.
want to play soul glow so badly.
Jared wants me to.
You think we get dinged if I played it?
Yeah, of course we'll get dinged, but play it. Jared wants
No,
me.
it's not worth it, man.
It way is worth it.
All right, fine,
Soul
fine, fine.
Glow is
I-
one of the best fucking.
All right, well,
things.
I'll
Do you
find it.
have
I
internet?
have it, but tell him the movie it's from.
So, Coming to America with Eddie Murphy is one of the best movies that has ever existed or ever will exist. And did I start with B?
I don't know, dude.
I said
I can't
mean
listen and
A,
search for the video.
One
at
of
the
the
same time.
one of the best movies that has existed or ever will exist, and B has one of the coolest fucking songs I've ever heard. And Jared's like, I want to do a parody of this, and you gotta sing it like this. And I'm like, Jared, you don't understand how wickedly high that is. This guy sings, and Jared thinks I sing particularly high. I can't.
No,
I
this is
can't
another
because you
level.
don't
But
fuck-
Mike, your voice to me is this guy's voice to you. That's what you don't understand. Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to play it. I can't plug in my phone, but
Yes, you can.
I can't. I don't have a headphone jack.
Oh,
It'll
God.
play through the mic. It'll play through the mic.
No, that.
Yes, it will. My phone's pretty loud. All right. So this is Soul Glow from what's the show? Coming to America.
Coming to America.
Okay. Also, I'm in the middle.
Oh, man.
All right, shut the fuck up.
Sexy. 1, 2, 3.
Just let it show soul glow. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul. Just let your
Oh, I almost. Yeah,
I
but he
told
has
you.
full vibrato.
Yeah, because he's working on it. You just got to work.
Listen.
Hey, wait.
He even grinds into it, dude. There's no way.
That's another register, dude. That's another register.
I could never do that.
No, that shit you have or you don't.
Right, you
don't.
have or you don't.
And if you have it, you can develop it. But like my voice would never do that. You know.
Oh, maybe you could develop it, Jared.
I just said you couldn't. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Who are you mocking? Who are you mocking, yourself? You fucking asshole.
I'm not spared from.
Now shut the fuck up. You want to go first or second on the Hollywood casting?
You go first. I'm interested.
I'm gonna do them all. Did you do Janetta?
Of course I fucking did.
Oh, we start with Janetta, right? I did Ellen.
You fucking.
Shut the fuck
up.
So I did Ellen Page.
Okay.
It's a throwaway role, man. Whatever. Ellen Page is fine. She would be a good friend. She comes out, tells a story. Okay.
Okay.
Ellen
Should
Page.
we go back and forth or
No.
Okay.
Dr. Dulcamara, right? I think that role could be funny as shit. And I did Kevin Hart.
You picked the shortest person in Hollywood.
Yeah, but I think he would be funny as fuck, overselling this Elixir of Love, man.
Yeah, okay.
Kevin Hart
I went
would
in a
crush it.
completely different direction, but whatever.
Belcore, I went weird with it. I did Will Forte. You know Will Forte?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy with the I pissed my pants thing. The whole like Fortnite with Will.
Oh yeah.
That's him. I think he's got enough range where he could play like
Belcore.
Yeah, because you have to be like serious sergeant, but then you also have to be goofy as fuck. And I think he could pull off
Wow,
both.
that is not what I was expecting.
It's a stretch. I know. I got some weird ones on here. Adina, I went Katherine Heigl. Remember her from Knocked Up, from Grey's Anatomy?
What the fuck, dude? Oh,
Yeah,
you're all over the place.
No, because she could play like really. Because even though in real life I've heard she's impossible to work with, I heard that, I mean, like she is, that's why her career fell off. Because every director that's worked with is like, you can't work with that fucking woman. She's apparently a diva, right? Yeah. But on screen, in like Grey's Anatomy, she was able to have like sweet moments, but at the core, she was kind of like a difficult person.
Core.
You know what I mean? Nemorino, I did Tom Holland, right? The new Spider-Man.
Man, I'm about to rock your fucking world.
You say it every goddamn time. And that's it. That's it.
Okay.
I could have built up that last one a bit better.
You want Janetta first. For some fucking reason,
yeah.
I had to have a redhead in this role.
Nice. Okay.
I had to, and I picked Karen Gillan.
I can know
or Gillan. Yeah, that's Sacha Baron Cohen's wife. She was in Wedding Planner, the crazy redhead. In,
do you mean Wedding Crashers?
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's good.
That one.
Yeah,
she's good. I figured she is someone who could go and tell a bunch of girls this gossip.
Yeah. You need a gossiping person. Yeah, that's better. Okay, you won that one.
And which one?
I did Dukamata next.
Jack Nicholson, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
coming in and selling
it's fine. It's fine. I beat you on that one, so it's 1-1.
There's no way you beat me on that one.
Kevin Hart doesn't beat Jack Nicholson.
No.
It's
Does
like
anybody in anything ever beat Jack Nicholson? What the fuck are you talking
Kevin
about?
Hart in Dulcamata beats Jack Nicholson. It's like you've never seen a movie and you've just had movies explained to you your whole life.
Absolutely redonky dick.
From another planet.
Redonky dick.
And you had these actors explained to you and you've never actually seen them.
Dick.
All right.
Where'd you go next, Belcore?
Yeah.
I did Joel Egerton. Okay, so do you remember Great Gatsby?
Mm-hmm.
He was the other
with DiCaprio?
guy. No, with DiCaprio, but the other rich guy.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. No,
I like his face.
Yeah, he's got a good face.
I like his face. He looks like a soldier. Can do good shit. Yeah.
I like his face.
What was the next one you did?
Adina
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, that's good.
What?
That's good.
You're snoring for Emilia Clarke.
I inhaled.
Queen of Dragons. You get the Mother of Dragons. Get the fuck out of here.
Mother of Dragons. Yeah, but she's just. I mean, I guess she's intense.
No, she's also sweet as hell.
Yeah, well, the sweet's easy. She of course has the sweet, but I'm talking more. Adina's not so intense as much as she is like.
See, this is the problem.
What?
You are going just based on Game of Thrones and what you know from that character, but she has shades.
She's done Game of Thrones, and she's got a Christmas movie coming out.
Right, but I believe in her acting ability.
All right, man, that's true.
And
that's true.
It's the same reason I picked Edward Norton for Nemorino.
Okay, yes.
Because that guy can play anything.
Yeah, you got.
And he can't look. He has to look. Actually,
I go more typecasting. You believe more in people's abilities.
Absolutely.
Every time we do this, I typecast. I don't want anyone to stretch their wings. I want you to just go out there and be yourself. You know what I mean? I want
Or
no
B,
acting.
everything that I've ever seen you do ever before.
Yes.
But the thing
I want
is,
security and no acting.
I was thinking about this while
real fucking life.
I was thinking of this while you and I were in driving here eating Nerds.
yeah,
right?
Yeah, which we hadn't had Nerds forever.
I found Nerds and I bought boxes of them.
That was a huge box.
Because yeah, and I have multiple because I'm like, when the fuck am I ever going to see Nerds in Germany again? Not only that, but man, Germans don't know how to do Halloween.
they got no idea.
They got no fucking idea. I mean,
Kids
zero.
and adults. Kids and adults.
No,
Adults.
the kids are fine. You can convince, say, dress up and go beg people for candy. It doesn't take much to convince.
Okay,
a kid
then
to go
it's
do
only
that.
the adults because the adults aren't taking their kids trick or treating.
I
They're
got
supplying
multiple.
candy.
I got multiple. What do you got? Don't ring my doorbell unless I know you. Sort of things.
Yeah, really.
Multiple of that.
Yeah.
No full-size Snickers, not one.
No, of course not.
And no Nerds, no nothing like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to take my kids back to America for Halloween because we would take.
Oh, that's a different thing.
Take fucking pillow.
But you know what? I have no idea. But I would imagine that these days also wouldn't live up to when we did it. Because in the 90s, you know what I mean? It's like there was no like razor blades and people afraid of that shit. You know what I mean?
I would find the razor blade and just use it to open up the other candy. You know, come on, you work with what you got. Anyway,
Oh, my
wait.
God.
Why did I start saying this? Oh, yeah. When we were eating the Nerds,
Yeah.
I thought to myself, you know, Edward Norton is one of those people who is on the knife's edge. He chose to be as cool as he is. He could have ended up a big fucking nerd, but he didn't because he's fucking cool. He's not the typical like square jaw guy, you know.
Yeah.
But his talents are so good that if you want him to be in a leading man thing, he can be.
Yeah.
If you want him to play like, she doesn't love me, but I need the courage somewhere, he can.
Yeah.
And but for him to play that role, he can't be the square jawed guy. You can't have a square jawed guy in Nemorino.
I know. You always go for acting abilities, but it's like if it was going to be a leading man, it's like Edward Norton could do it, but The Rock could probably do it better. You know what I mean? I just want people
Not
who
Nemorino. What? The Rock.
I said
You're
leading
gonna
man.
say-
I did not say The Rock and Nemorino. I
He's
said the leading
man here.
Not in the typical usage of the word.
So
he's,
you're
he's
saying
not the stud.
Belcore. The Rock might have been a good Belcore.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah,
have
but he's too good because it's like, how are you going to turn that down, you know?
I wouldn't turn down The Rock.
No one would,
If,
my
if
man.
The Rock came to me and said, Michael, you're mine now, I'm like, okay.
I'd be rock hard. All right.
No!
So, on that note, hope you learned something today.
I did. That Greek shit was awesome.
Did you like that?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, everybody, take care of yourselves. Hope you had a chance to see our mini opera.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
get out there and see the ghost thing. I'm so proud of Jared for the fucking green screen stuff you pulled off, dude.
we had like 3 days. We did that whole thing in like 3 or 4 intense, stress-ridden days.
Yeah,
you know
because
what I mean?
there was just we talk about it. We talk about
It,
it. All the time,
it
how
was this
much-
perfect storm of stuff. I was out of town. Mike was out of town. We had a lot of personal shit going on in our lives. And basically it came down to the same where we had 3-4 days to do the music, film the green screen stuff, film the non-green screen stuff, and edit it in 3 days. And it was insane. But we put it out. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We put that stuff out just for people's enjoyment, but mostly for our enjoyment. Check
That's
that
really
out.
the real reason.
That's
I
true.
like doing them.
That's what makes it authentic. You can find it on our website. Otherwise, if you want to do some donor stuff, go to Patreon. Otherwise, take care of yourselves. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Peace.